Hey friend, today I'm walking you through how I made a custom laser cut shear stick from start to finish. And yes, this thing is going to be turning heads, so without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, I headed over to Canva to mock up my design. I'm using a school mascot here, but you can use pretty much anything. Business logo, team name, inside joke, whatever you want to shout out loud and proud. Once the design felt right, I exported it to prep for laser cutting. Okay, so after exporting in Canva as an SVG, I brought it over into LightBurn, which is where you see me here. I'm at my local makerspace where I use their 60-watt OhmTech laser to cut everything out. I laid out all the pieces in LightBurn for the shear stick, and I used the offset tool to build those layered effects, which is what gives the design that bold dimensional look once it's assembled. If you're new to LightBurn, it's basically the go-to design software for laser projects. It's not totally super intuitive, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty good. And it's what everybody uses, so it makes it easier to go between different design projects. After I got all the sizing and the layout locked in, I sent it to the laser and let it go to work. After that, it was time to print out the sublimation design. So I printed that bad boy out and grabbed my laser cut cast acrylic hornet shape and headed out to the garage. I double checked my time and temp settings using Jennifer Maker's Sublimation cookbook. This thing stays in arm's reach like a kitchen timer and comes in super handy. So the next thing was to come out and turn on the heat press and let it warm up while I cut out the sublimation and get it ready and get it prepped. So right here you see me cutting out the sublimation design, and I'm going to pop it onto the cast acrylic, which is sublimation cast acrylic that I already cut out at the makerspace. Be sure to peel off the protective coating on the front side so that you don't melt that. One thing I learned about doing this, because I did this on about 3 different ones, and the first one came out perfectly, but the second 2, when I went to go sublimate those, they didn't come out so nicely, and I could not figure out why, because in my mind I had done the exact same thing on both times. What I later realized was that the first time that I sublimated the hornet, I sublimated with the cast side, the sublimation side up, which is the paper side. The second time I sublimated with the acrylic side facing up, facing the heat platen, which is the wrong side. You want to sublimate, you see me flipping here, that was the right side. You want to sublimate with the sublimation paper side facing the heat platen. Because on the second set that I sublimated, they were melting, the ink wasn't transferring, and I was getting really frustrated because I could not figure out what was wrong. To me, I had done everything the same way, and I ended up going into a few of my laser groups and asked the question, and they gave me some ideas which made me realize, yeah, I had flipped it to the wrong side, and I was trying to sublimate on the acrylic side instead of the sublimation side, which is the side with the white coating on it where the paper was. So lesson learned, and all turned out swell. Here you'll see me giving it a second heat press, a second pressing, because a little section of it was a little bit faded, and I was trying to get that sublimation to come through a little bit stronger, and so that's what you see me doing here. So now that we've got that part done, we're going to head outside and I'm going to spray paint the pieces. Turns out getting a fully opaque yellow takes way more coats than I expected, and glitter paint, it never looks the way you think it's going to in your mind. So note to self, next time we're going to use acrylic for better coverage and sparkle. But wood is what we had this time, and it actually turned out fine anyway, but just for future, for my personal preference, I'm going to use acrylic next time. Once that was dry, I brought everything back into the studio and brushed on the glitter top coat. The camera doesn't do it justice. It has this subtle shimmer in person, and I also painted the edges. I ended up painting the edges white for a bit of pop, because when I placed, at first I painted the edges silver, but against that black, it really just didn't pop as much as I wanted it to. So I ended up painting them white to stand out more from the base. Now for the handle, I used some random PVC pipe that I picked up at the Habitat Restore. I have no idea what it was originally for, but it worked for my purpose. I glued it on with dollar store epoxy, which surprisingly holds really strong. The handle is just a cabinet pull, also from the Habitat Restore. Another upcycling find that you see here, those palms that you see on the end, they're actually party garland that I picked up on clearance. I think it was either Joann's or Michael's that they had a string garland, and it was in the clearance section. I was like, oh, this is yellow. It'll work perfectly for my project. So I ended up just rolling the string garland onto itself and turning it into pom-poms for the sides of the cheer stick. Now I ended up using two types of adhesive to put everything onto the base. For the acrylic, I did not want to use any type of super glue because that would create this weird haze on the acrylic. So I used 3M double-sided adhesive, which is really strong. A lot of people who do acrylic projects use the 3M adhesive, so that's what I used to affix the hornet piece to the base. For the letters, however, since those were wood, the super glue would be just fine with that. So I used super glue to affix the letters to the base, and you'll see that coming up soon. As I was putting the glue onto the letters and getting everything attached, I was thinking, this cheer stick really is perfect for team sports. I mean, football games, cheer competitions, basketball, volleyball, anything where you want to rep your team and show some extra spirit. Like say your kid's on the football field or at a cheer competition. You show up with this in the stands? Come on, game over. All the other parents are going to be like, wait, where'd you get that? And you get to be like, oh, I made it. One of my friends said she wanted one just to wave around at her kids' track meets. Like, forget signs, this is the deluxe version of showing up and showing out. But honestly, you could use this for graduation too. When your grad walks across the stage, this is your way of cheering them on loud and proud, but still cute and classy. It's one of those pieces that turns into a keepsake afterwards too. Something they can hang in their room or keep just as a reminder of their big moment. And let's be real, custom spirit sticks, way better than anything you can buy mass produced. Once everything was set, I gave the entire piece a coat of clear gloss poly, not just for shine, but also to help lock everything in, especially if this gets waved around at pep rallies or parades and maybe it gets a little wet or something. And so that's it. Here's the finished cheer stick. Bright, bold, customized, and super satisfying to make, even with a few curveballs along the way. If this gave you an idea, a laugh, or just made your next DIY project feel a little more doable, hit that subscribe button or give it a like. We're building income from our creativity over here. Income that's steady, intentional, and on our own terms. And while you're here, check out this next video YouTube thinks you'll love. Until next time, bye-bye.